for headlights is poor quality. And next slide.
You get your putter you get.
That's fine. 2 more slides. Yeah, there's what we're talking about. Next slide.
All right.
What I've seen is that there's several problems. The Repros don't have a whole lot of support for the sliding member, so it can wobble from side to side. The other problem, one of the other problems, is the end of the contact is domed. If you look at your light bulb, it's lead, but it's also domed, and so you're trying to get 2 domes to line up, and then you turn them, so one's going to squirt off to the side. Next one. So my thought was to guide the 3 pins based on the diameter of the head itself and the spring that's there. So next one. I think I pretty much covered that already. Next one.
Right. It is.
I had to make myself a little hand sketch of what was going on, and this is this is what you see in the two contact bulb. Next one. So why do you need a repro? It's because the originals, typically the wires going in there were brittle, so all the insulation broke off. So it's going to short out, even though you're not concerned about the internals. Next one. So if you start taking apart, this is what you get. Now, this is an original, and you see this diameter here. It slides. I'm sorry. You can see a little flange down here in the bottom. The top part slides through that entire length from that point to that point. So a lot of distance for guiding and rigidity. The repros, I don't know if it shows up on the next one, maybe. Yes, you can see much smaller diameter.
There, you might want to go to this one, or you want to go back?
Back one, please.
Okay.
You see the diameter here? So compare that to what you saw on the original. So a smaller diameter and no bearing distance, so it can wobble. Next one now. If you look down to inside the sprocket, the socket, you can see where just sitting there, they contact each other, and that's going to short it out.
Shorten out, yeah.
Yep. Next one. There's a little bit closer up. Next one. Next one. Like I said, those are just close-ups. Next one. And if you go with the original wiring, where you come up to the outside of the headlight, you have this black insulator and the 3 wires coming in. It's green, red, and brown.
Yellow, maybe?
The black part is labeled so you know which one you put them in. And then there's orientation numbers that you can only put it in one way. Next one. Next one. Oh, can't see it very well. So I had to make myself a sketch of my idea of making a plug that would go in there. It would have 3 holes in it for the 3 connections that would guide on the spring and guide on the head of the contact. Next one. So lathe and millwork, I ended up with these made out of Delrin, an insulated material. And that was probably about 3 hours worth of work. Next one. And so how they work when they're inserted is the white portion there, of course, is the insulator. It slips down. You have the 2 contacts here, and the springs underneath them are keeping those posts nice in good position. Next one. There's the 3. So there's virtually no way that the contacts would contact each other to short out. Next one. That's I call it clocking. So that black part for plugging into this has to mate with those, and the 3 holes should be in relation to that. Next one. It's not real clear, but that's probably the best one. You see only a portion of the contact underneath the black part. That's because on the repros, the clocking is not relative to the 3 posts. So I'm not in favor of repros. Next one. So I said 3 hours to make with the lathe and mill. Then I started thinking, but I have 2 really smart kids work in different companies that have got $75,000 3D printers, and they know CAD. So I gave them my sketch. One said it took them 8 minutes, and one said it took them 10 minutes to draw it. Because I had all the dimensions, all they had to do was draw it. And my daughter downloaded it before she went home from work to the company 3D printer. And of course, the next morning there was 10 sets of each.
Bring it forward.
Pardon me?
Can I get a set of those?
No.
Camera? I can't see where I'm at. Somewhere in here.
Actually, Mark, yes, you can, Mark.
I know, I'm teasing.
So that was my daughter. Then I didn't want to make my son feel bad, so I asked him. He was the one who drew it in 6 minutes. And printed it on his own printer at home. So the 10 sets, how long did it take? Well, it was 2.5 hours. But he didn't go to bed late like that. He did it on his own. I guess the bottom line is that I think Model A, 1928 to 31, you can fix it with modern day technology, 3D printing. I asked my son how much material. He said there's probably 10 cents worth of material in those 10 cents. And virtually no labor because the program's all done now. And Blaine, you probably know this. You can he can define one and say that he wants a pattern of 10, and that's it. You come out with 10. It figures out to space them so they don't touch, and it's just going like it's nervous.
One experience I had with the headlights not working, I discovered that the ball inside the headlamp part
Yes,
had rusted,
oh,
so then it thrown it out.
poor contact,
Clean off that.
sure, sure.
Or maybe just kind of jiggle the headlight a little bit.
Not driving on enough bumpy roads.
So one other thing on the 3D printed parts, just like you saw in the cookie cutters or any 3D printed part, there's little ridges. So the holes, the 3 holes, are not smooth. You've got little ridges that the coils of the spring could catch on, or even the button itself could catch on. So I would run a drill through that just to clean up those ridges, so that it could run smoothly. Phil, you had a question?
Are these insulators a substitute for that thin fiber washer that was in the original, or in addition to that?
In addition to,
Okay.
So I got a question. This is 3D printing. So now you've got it. Couldn't you just do that out of solid stock, like at a CNC programmable machining center, and knock them out really fast? Wouldn't that be the way to go? If you were doing it in volume?
no,
No?
not in my mind.
Oh, okay.
You can't have metal.
It would be multiple operations.
Non-conductive.
Steve, say a little bit louder what you're saying.
Me?
Yeah.
If you were gonna make 1 million, maybe then a CNC machine might be better suited, but 10, 20, 30, printing is by far the simplest way. And if the holes you wanted to be smoother, you could make them a little undersized purposely and just clean it out with a drill or,
Yeah, by hand even.
yeah.
Yeah.